hanging out with Jim Florentine, comedy CD coming out October 25th, called Cringe and Purge. We're gonna do. We've done this before, and it's a lot of fun. So I figured we kind of do this now because I like doing a top threes.
All right.
So it was all going to be, well, we might veer off the metal path here a little bit too. So first of all, we'll do top 3 Sabbath records.
Sabotage, number 1.
Yep.
Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, number 2.
Yep.
First Sabbath, number 3.
First Sabbath, number 3. I'm going to go off the map here. I'm going to Sabotage, absolutely.
Okay.
Without question, number 1. I'm going to say Mob Rules, number 2. I'm going to go the Dio route. Now 3. See, 3 is always tough because there's 4 or 5 records I could cram in there. But I'm going to say, probably because it was the first Sabbath record I heard, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah, I mean, Volume 4 is no slouch either. That's really close.
Yes.
I love that stuff. And then, like Master Reality, and then Paranoid's a great record. It's just the problem is
you've heard all
it's
that
got all
stuff.
the hits on it,
Yeah, that record. See, that's why I like Sabotage.
But Electric Rat Salad and friggin' Hand of Doom is one of the greatest Sabbath songs.
But no Dio in there. So you're sticking
no Dio
with just
for some
Ozzy.
reason. Heaven and Hell is a masterpiece, but I can't put that in. I can't put it in with the Sabbath stuff.
Interesting. All right, so let's go now. Top 3 metal albums of all time.
Oh,
the pressure's on.
Yeah,
I'll give you my top 3 because it's really easy for me. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, number 1.
Okay.
Iron Maiden, Killers, number 2. And Thin Lizzy, Johnny the Fox, number 3.
Wow.
I almost put Sabotage in there, but it's a tough one. So you don't have really a top 3?
No, I don't have, because there's so. I mean, all right, let's go. I'll go Sabotage, number 1. It's almost like I want to do different bands. Like, there's AC/DC. I don't know. There's an AC/DC album that should be in the top 3.
Sure.
Or there's Powerage. Or Highway to Hell. I mean,
you got to put Powerage in there.
Powerage probably 2, and then Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
Ace of
3.
Spades. All right, that's fair enough. That's a good one. Top 3 metal singers of all time.
Udo Dirkschneider, number 1.
Wow.
I love his voice. Metal or hard rock? Because hard rock would be.
I mean, we'll put all in the same category.
Oh, all in the okay. So I could go with a Bon Scott, and I could go with
they're metal,
and I can go with a Corey Taylor.
Wow, interesting. So
no, I'm just
Udo?
saying, but I could.
Of course you
okay,
can.
all right. So then it's a whole. It's okay. I would go.
You want to hone it. You want to hone it down a little bit.
I don't know.
I like the breadth of it. It's the top 3 of all time.
I mean, it's tough to pick Udo Dirkschneider from Accept, but I just loved his voice.
It's your opinion. There is no wrong.
No,
there's no wrong answer.
Okay,
here.
Bon Scott 1, Udo
Okay.
Dirkschneider 2, Halford 3.
Okay, I'm gonna go Dickinson number 1, Dio number 2, and Halford number 3. I'm kind of going old school there.
Yeah.
I like all those guys. I mean, I just think of like some of my favorite records, and I have to go. We have to go back a little bit to top 3 albums of all time because I just realized that I didn't make a mistake in doing that, but I have to have a tie for number 3 because I have to put Rainbow Rising in there. So I waffle back and forth with Rising and Thin Lizzy being the 3rd album of all time.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I can go Unleashed in the East or British Steel in there too. A tie for 3rd.
Top 3 guitarists of all time, metal guitarists, and metal hard rock, I guess.
Iommi.
Yep.
Randy Rhoads.
Interesting.
Sheesh, that's a tough one, a 3rd. I mean, I love the Yngwie stuff. I love Eddie Van Halen. I love Steve Vai.
Yep, all good guitar players, absolutely.
I'm missing somebody in here that should be in here.
Sammy Hagar. Well, while you're thinking, we'll give you a minute for the 3rd one. So I'm going to do Iommi number 1, Van Halen number 2, and I'm going to go a little off the chart. Maybe this is something you're thinking about. Angus Young, AC/DC number 3.
I can go with him number 3.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
he doesn't get as much credit as a lead guitar player. Like,
Yeah.
Another guy that I wouldn't put him on my top 3, but probably top 5 is Slash. He's not technically he's not like an Yngwie 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
But he's really good. And I almost, it's funny. I was thinking because I'm a huge Maiden fan. I love Adrian Smith. So I was almost going to put him in there, but maybe if you put the tandem of Adrian Smith and Dave Murray in there.
Okay, right, yeah.
As a two-piece. It's almost like Tipton and Hal and.
I love this Steve Vai stuff too. I mean, the records he played
down.
on. I loved his stuff too. Eddie, of course.
So, what were your top 3 concerts you've been to? Metal concerts. So you can't put Lady Gaga in there.
No.
No, metal concerts.
Sabbath, Van Halen, 1978.
That's a good one.
And I confirmed it with Tony Iommi on this season of that metal show that Van Halen did not blow him off the stage. I am sick of that rumor.
Yeah, that seemed to be crazy, right? I never
we went on.
understood that.
It was
I think
funny.
that was a rumor that David Lee Roth perpetrated.
It was funny because the album wasn't out that long of Van Halen. Nobody knew it. They were playing, I think, Running with the Devil on the radio. Other than that, nobody knew who they were. Pretty much the whole tour, because the album took a little while to take off, the first Van Halen. So, okay, you have 4 young guys up there running around, but you don't blow somebody off the stage when nobody knows the songs.
Yeah.
You go, oh, they got some energy. Everybody's, messed up on pot and drugs back then, 78. So they're like, oh, okay, they're out of it. They're not like, oh my God.
Yeah,
so,
I agree with that.
But he didn't want to really answer the question. He goes, look, I love Eddie. I don't want to say anything bad about Eddie. Just on the new season of that metal show. I go,
yeah.
I understand. I go, I'm a big Van Halen fan too, but they did not. Nobody knew the music. No, I'm just saying, look, they're a great band. They were energetic. I go, all right, let me ask you, Tony. When you were up on stage after Van Halen, when you were playing, did you see anybody walking out? He goes, no. I go, case closed.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So that's number 1.
That's number 1. Number 2 was...
We dispelled the rumor now, the myth.
I'm going to go more new school for some reason. Well, oh, man. All right, I saw Saxon at BB King's like 3 years ago.
Really?
Where they played, an hour and a half, and they played some new stuff and old stuff, and then they did an encore for another 50 minutes and played all old stuff.
Really?
From Strong Arm of the Law, Wheels of
So
Steel.
you put
and
that
Diamond
number
Leather.
2?
No, not number 2. I'm going to put that in at my top 5. Because that 45, 50 minutes of that old just went one song after another. Sixth Form Girls, Heavy Metal Thunder, just and the bands played on.
How many
played
shots
loud.
did you have that night?
No shots, but it was amazing.
Interesting. All right.
But I'm going to go.
I'm with you.
I'm going to go Rage Against the Machine.
Interesting.
I've seen them 4 any time I saw them, and I'm going to go with Slipknot.
Yeah, well,
I don't know the
Slipknot's
dates, but I've
amazing,
seen Slipknot
yeah.
10 times. I just love the energy that a band like Rage Against the Machine and Slipknot puts out.
I gotta go top 5 too. Number 1 is probably AC/DC with Bon Scott in '78, Long Beach Arena. Only time I got to see Bon Scott. They were amazing. They were so loud. I used to be a bootlegger.
Right.
So I'd sneak tape recorders in, and they were so loud it broke my tape recorder after 20 minutes.
Nice.
So I only got 20 minutes of it on bootleg. That's number 1. Thin Lizzy opening for Journey, also Long Beach Arena, 1979. Only time I got to see Thin Lizzy with Phil, so that's number 2. And then 3 is Iron Maiden at Hammersmith Odeon, 1984. Or no, 85, when they did the World Slavery Tour. I was at all 4 shows they recorded in L.A. that ended up on the live album. They went to 2 of the 4 shows sold out at Hammersmith. And one of the Music for Nations, who was licensing our stuff at the time, got me tickets for one of the shows. And it was like 8th row. Have you ever been to Hammersmith? It's a small venue.
Yeah, I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, like 2,800 seats or something.
Yeah.
So the 8th row, I mean, you're like, they're 5 feet in front of you, like right on stage. So close that Bruce Dickinson threw his sweatband on at the end of the night. I just put my hand on it, landed in there, and I closed it and just went like this as everybody's fighting for it over there.
And you got it.
Awesome. Amazing show. And then I got to put Rammstein in there just because the spectacle is just so
I know,
insane.
that's another one too.
And then probably, I would have to put a Metallica show in there somewhere just because they're so good. I've seen them probably 150 times, so I don't know which would be the best one, but it's one of them. I mean, because they've always been good.
Well, you know what? Because I only gave you 3. I'm definitely putting the Blizzard of Oz. I saw the Blizzard of Oz lineup 5 times with Randy, Rudy,
they were good?
Tommy Aldridge.
See,
they were great.
Really?
They
See,
were
I saw
great.
them, and honestly, they were horrible. I mean, the worst time I saw them was they did a New Year's Eve show here, and maybe they were all drunk, but it was one of the worst shows I've ever seen. I actually wrote a review of it, and I scathing a review.
Wow, well, a lot of the reviews were really bad for that. No, but I saw them open for Def Leppard Convention Hall in Asbury Park, and that was a great show.
What Def Leppard tour was that?
That was High and Dry.
Oh, nice.
And I saw, Motorhead opened for him a couple of times too, but I saw that show 5 times, so that's definitely in my top 5. They were great.
Cool. Well, we'll end it since we got a comedy CD that you are a part of, your comedy CD, Cringe and Purge. We'll end it with top 3 comedians of all time.
Andrew Dice Clay, number 1. Rodney Dangerfield, number 2.
Interesting.
George Carlin, 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kinison 1, Carlin 2. No, Kinison 1 prior to, and Carlin 3.
Kinison would definitely be in there. If he would have stuck around a little longer, he would have been in there.
I'm a West Coast guy, so I get that whole Dice, East
Dice
Coast,
Kinison
West
thing.
Coast
But
sort of thing.
Kinison was great. Kinison's in my top 5.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's in my top 5 as well. As is Jim Florentine. So check out the CD, Cringe and Purge, October 25th. Thanks again for hanging out, man.
Thank you, sir.